Hello folks, this is Vladimir again, and you're joining me while I'm testing Bridge Out, which of course is my next map, even though I'd said I was retiring, but I couldn't pass this one up, to tell you the truth. I'd had real problems sleeping. My night shift had screwed up my sleeping patterns, so this is what came out of it, which is really strange. Yeah, so I'm busy testing this at the moment, and this here is like I found to be the ultimate block that falls, since for each one of these blocks that spawns in, I can get 4 of them. So yeah, there we go, lots of bridging materials. And over here as well, I've just noticed that that's the iron block over there, so I'm heading that way. But I've noticed that just up here there is a cake that keeps falling, so I'm just going to go and catch that, because I think if I get the cake I'll have an endless supply of food then as well, and I'll not need to worry about it, apart from having to precariously balance across here. Where is it? Oh, just one block out. Come on, Mr. Cake, spawn in. I think you're gonna spawn there. I think. I'm hoping you do. Yes. Haha. Excellent. Well, that's my food source sorted. Yeah, this particular map was definitely born from the delirium of... oh god, man, was it crazy. It was really crazy. I can't believe that I actually did this, and the whole thing was developed in 3 hours. That's how quickly it was done. So when you take that as a 3 hours for a experimental mini CTM, then really I can't complain at all, and that's something I can fit into a time scale. So I'm rather happy with that. That's not a problem at all. Let's bridge out over here and see where we can go. And of course this is all being born from Texelelf's unified filter as well, so again thanks to Texelelf for making such a wonderful filter. That is ace. This has helped me a lot. As you can probably imagine, there's a hell of a lot of spawners underneath this map, which are helping to spawn all of these blocks in. Now, what's my supplies like? I think I'm doing okay actually. Oh yes, definitely. Aha, whoops, yeah, and the falling blocks will throw you off the side if you're not careful. This is why shift key, I apologise if you're going to play this map, the shift key may break. But you'll be fine. I wouldn't worry too much. Oh, lost that dead block. Right, let's bridge out. Let's get across to this iron block. Let's see if I can get this. So yeah, this map, like I said, only took 3 hours to create. I had already had this insane idea. No idea why. I'm not even going to go into that. Insomnia's terrible. But yeah. The whole playing field in here is just bridging out. Whether people like that, I've no idea. It'll probably go to a niche market, I think, this map. I can't imagine the masses playing this. I can't imagine anybody, you know, a big YouTuber or anything like that playing this, and they'll just think it's bloody insane. I'm probably a bit boring. I thought it was a bit boring, even me, and I'm the developer. I thought, oh god, look at that, we've got another cake. Haha. 2 food supplies. In fact, I'm just gonna... Oh, look at that as well. I Okay, another log. Oh, this is oh, I've picked a good run here. So yeah, I thought it was a bit boring as well when I first started playing it. So what I did was I adjusted all of the spawners underneath because I had them all set to random. Now the spawners underneath are all in a grid formation now, so once you've learned the grid you know where to go out, because whereas before it wasn't in a grid, it was rather random, and the blocks would spawn in haphazardly and leave huge blank areas as well where nothing would spawn, so you were bridging out for quite a while, and if you didn't bridge out in the correct direction then it really did become really quite boring. And this is my own map and I got bored by it the first time round, so I changed all the spawners and put them into a grid formation, and the grid formation really does work a treat. You kind of guess the pattern, you can kind of know what you're going for, so once you've learned that, it makes the map a little bit easier to cope with, thankfully. Right, okay, well it looks like we're heading that way now. I reckon about there if I bridge out there. Now the iron block is visible from the Victory Monument. There's 7 blocks to collect these. Ooh, okay. Fallen skeletons, that's not fun. No. Okay. Let's just keep going, see what happens. So yes, there's 7 blocks to collect. I was gonna have... Oh god, I'm missing blocks. Mind you, that's only snow. It's no good until like... Oh, I don't want him coming on here. I'm gonna have to go around. Man, Vlad, you're a git. Why would you... You sick puppy. I did originally have just a handful of blocks and then have a couple of bonuses, but I've decided that because I'm not spawning them in originally, I was going to spawn these in as well, so you had to collect these, but you wouldn't know where to bridge out to. So having something like this as a landmark, and at least when you bridge out you'll be able to see the blocks and what you need to do, or should I say where you need to go. It gives a direction. So again, that was another thing that was worrying me from the original design, was that the blocks were actually spawning in, so you wouldn't have a clue, you would have just got lost and it wasn't really player friendly. Okay, got some more supplies here. Oof, skeletons. Okay, I think. That's quite freaky. Let's hope none of them actually. Stop it. Let's take this one. Excellent. I'll take a couple because I can sure use this iron. I'm pretty sure of it. I'll find a use for the iron later on. So there we go. That's the iron block collected, and we'll go back to the Victory Monument. Now the other reason for doing this and talking to you guys while I'm doing it is so you can actually see how this works. Surprisingly enough, I don't actually experience lag I've got the clouds set underneath just for the extra vertigo factor, which is quite funny. Well, I find it quite funny anyway. But I wanted just to show you guys how this actually works, how this holds together. And I think perhaps as well, I think once you see... Whoa, see, move me out of the way. You really need to hold that shift button down. Yeah, I think I'm going to owe people a lot of money just paying out for shift button repairs. Right, let's gather these, and then we could put the iron block on the Victory Monument, and then I'll show you behind the scenes. Okay, there we go. So the iron block. Ba-bum. Iron block retrieved. And I've been collecting supplies from previous runs, and it's definitely wise not to carry everything around with you if you can help it, that's for sure. Cobblestone as well, because it's quite prime. So yeah, that's the iron block got. Okay, right, let's go behind the scenes. Let's drop down here and look at the floor of the playfield. Now the whole floor is covered in rails, and the rails stop the blocks from landing, and the blocks aren't turning into entities either, which reduces the lag quite considerably. And as we've seen that skeleton drop over there, the only entities down here are going to be what the mobs drop. So that's the whole thing. There's a good enough distance that you will die, and let's have a look underneath this baby. Now these are all the spawners underneath. They're in a grid formation, as I mentioned earlier. The only things that aren't in a grid formation are the random mobs. You'll see, like, we have the Enderman here, who's just died. It's quite funny to hear them die. I know if they're working or not. We've got the creeper here and a witch here. So it's when they spawn in, I can tell if they're. I can hear them dying above. It's really good. Over in the distance there, you can see a column going up. That's the iron column. And I'll not go too close. That has an array of spawners around it, which are different to the rest, of course, because that's the challenge. I'm not sure how many spawners are actually under here. There is quite a lot of spawners under here. Let's have a fly through, and then we can see how many spawners. We'll get an idea of the amount of spawners. What I'll do is I'll find out how many spawners there is, and I'll leave that in the description of the video for anybody who's actually interested. But as you can tell, there is yeah, lots of them. It's quite endless, isn't it? Wow. Yeah, I am that insane. Well, what I did was I took these spawners, and I'll show you what I did on how I created them. And of course these are all created using Texel's unified spawner filter, and which has been really useful. So let's go back outside, because I'm getting slightly claustrophobic under here, and I'll show you the array that I used. Now this is the array of blocks, the grid of blocks, and each one of these blocks was duplicated, replicated, reversed, mirrored, all in MCEdit, until the whole playfield was saturated by the grid formation underneath. And then, using a very large selection, I would select in the unified spawner filter and say replace all cobblestone with a cobblestone falling sand entity, replace all planks with a falling sand plank entity, and until all of these were converted into falling sand entities. And of course some of them change because there's no point having furnaces drop. How boring is that? You can make your own. Also as well, this is the spawn area here, and there are 3 settings. And the 3 settings are easy, normal and hard. Easy has random mobs switched off, the inventory is kept. Normal is random mobs are still switched off, but the inventory is lost upon death. And hard mode means that random mobs are switched on, so you may get things spawning up there with you. Your choice. I'll leave it up to you. So yes, that's basically behind the scenes. There's not actually much to it, apart from a large block of bedrock and a gazillion spawners. Wow, I really should count these. This is just an amazing amount, and considering I don't actually, get any lag at all while playing this, and perhaps because they're spread out, and perhaps because they're only activating as you get close to them, which is probably good. Holy moly, look at the amount of spawners around that block there. You're in for a treat there. So there we go, guys. I've been Vladimir. Thanks ever so much for listening to my ramblings, and I shall catch you all next time.